Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today it's time to do the video I've been waiting to do for a very long time, and I haven't really spoke about it much on this channel, but I'm going to be doing my full spoiler breakdown on Spider-Man No Way Home, and there really is no way home. This film is absolutely phenomenal. I love the film so much, and I was so happy how this film turned out. And this video is going to be split into two parts. There'll be part one and part two. And I'm just going to be going through the whole entire film, really. I'm just going to go bit by bit and just see how it goes. I won't spend forever on every single bit. But most bits, like the big parts, especially towards the end, I'll talk about in a lot of detail. So with all that said, roll that intro because we're getting started with this video that I'm really excited to do. So obviously there are spoilers here, so I'm gonna give you like a 5-second countdown. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Aunt May dies. Toby and Andrew are in it. There are so many villains from different universes. Peter Parker is now alone. Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, is in it. Everything I've ever wanted in a Spider-Man film is in this film. Everything I've ever wanted, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Now, I've even got my drink with me because I'm going to be talking a lot throughout this, so yeah. So I might have to have a drink every now and then because my mouth is probably going to get really watery because I am going to be getting really excited about everything we're going to be talking about today. So, first of all, let's just get started with the plot. So the film starts, obviously, with your casual Sony, Columbia, and Marvel Studios intro. And instead of just doing the normal thing or playing We Will Always Love You over the Marvel Studios intro, like the original, like Far From Home, they do something a little bit different. So they basically just play through the Spider-Man Far From Home credit scene. So you hear like Jake Gyllenhaal and J. Jonah Jameson over the news screen. That's basically what goes on throughout the whole thing, and then it just the exact timing you see Peter Parker at that scene on that lamppost, and yeah. So that's where the film starts. Everyone is going crazy because everyone is literally like surrounding the lamppost and everything. And they even managed to bring back this, I'm not sure what the actor's called, but there was this one guy who stood there in the credit scene and he's actually in the actual film. Like he's actually in that exact scene, in that exact spot. I think that's just so funny how they did that. I mean, the amount of detail that they put into this is amazing because a lot of people will probably notice that. A lot of people who don't really pay attention to this probably won't, but that's something that a lot of people have picked up on, and I have later picked up on as well. And obviously Spider-Man swings down to MJ and they get out of there and all the screens are saying Spider-Man's Peter Parker. They even have a Rogers the Musical sign, which is in the series Hawkeye. That is in the first episode. Spoiler alert. And that is just a good little detail. And they treat this, treat that scene just not very seriously, but that isn't really necessarily a bad thing because they've just got some a bit cheesy music in the background as Spider-Man and MJ are trying to get to Peter's house, or well, it's not really his house, it's Aunt May's, and I think is it a flat? Yeah, it is a flat. But once they get there, there is nothing good going on. I mean, Happy and Aunt May are having some relationship issues, and this is when the ball starts rolling for the first part of the film. So everyone obviously hates Peter Parker because they think he murdered Mysterio, which obviously isn't the case. He didn't kill him, which obviously we all know. But yeah, it all comes out really, really well. For example, seeing like just how hard it is, how hard everything is just really, really good and just really well written. And I think that was just a good way to do it, how they did it. And then you see his lawyer. And his lawyer is none other than Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, from the Netflix series. Now, I thought he was going to be in it, even just a little cameo. But people in the cinema were going, like, they were getting really excited. And even I was myself. And even though he was only in it for, like, not even 2 minutes, probably just a minute, that minute was a really good minute. That was one of the best minutes in Marvel, probably. And just them small little details and them small little scenes are great. And Sony or Marvel or Disney, whatever, they know if they can put the tiniest thing, like they can show the tiniest thing that's related to something else other than Spider-Man or this actual film, people are just going to go crazy. And that's basically what was happening. And the scene didn't last very long, but even when he caught the brick, that scene just felt good. I don't know, it just felt cool, because obviously he is Daredevil. And yeah, then it sort of goes on to Peter Parker at school, not going great really, for him. And then you find out that Ned, MJ, and of course Peter cannot get into college because of this whole Spider-Man thing going on, and that is where the plot sort of goes. So that is kind of how it goes. But anyways, this causes Peter to go to Doctor Strange, and to obviously to get some help about all of this going on, and he casts a spell. I can't remember what the spell was. I don't know if they gave it a name or something. And obviously it doesn't go well, just as Wong said. And yeah, it only opens up a load of worlds, and only some bad guys from other worlds just come in. That's all that happens. And then that leads to a 2.5 hour long film. And yeah, the film after that, the film has that one scene that I was very excited for. And that was none other than the bridge scene. You guessed it, the bridge scene. I don't know, that scene I was really excited for. And, well, Peter's gone to see this woman. I can't remember what she's called. Speak about getting into college. Trying to convince her to get Ned and MJ into college, and then everyone is screaming and running away because there's this explosion sort of thing in the distance. And Peter gets in the car and he realises what's going on. He gets his Iron Spider suit on. And then there's this big sort of, there's this big sort of array of cars, and what the cars are like exploding and like breaking, and then you see one of Doc's robotic arms, and then you see another one, and he comes out and he says, "Hello, Peter." And that scene is probably one of my favourite scenes of the whole film. Just that line, "Hello, Peter." That was like my favourite part of like the trailer, when you see the arms and then he goes, "Hello, Peter." That is just so iconic. He's never, he like, it just is just, that is just like 20 years of build up put into a film, and that's great. I loved it so much, and I really like Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. I think he's really, I think that was a really good, I think he was good as him. And yeah, there's a whole fight going on. Not too big. It wasn't huge. And then obviously he takes a bit. Doc Ock takes a bit of the Iron Spider suit, and then his arms turn into like nanotech. So they're all red, like almost like Stark technology. Well, that is what they are. And then Peter takes control of the arm, so he has all control, and it sort of changes a bit, because you see this pumpkin bomb on the floor, and it explodes, and then you see through the steam, you see the Goblin glider, and you see Green Goblin on it. And then you just see, they show a shot of him. It's actually in the trailer, of like him there, and it's just so iconic. And he goes for Peter and Doc Ock, but doesn't quite succeed. And then Doctor Strange uses a portal and obviously gets them out of the situation. And then Doc Ock is the first to be caught, and Doctor Strange tells Peter that he needs to catch all the villains, because there are a lot of villains out there, obviously from the Sam Raimi and the Mark Webb films. And he asks MJ and Ned for help, which obviously they say yes. And they play a very big role in this film, and that is sort of a reason for it. And then I can't talk, I'm so excited. He goes to, well, he can't get his this green goop off his suit. So yeah, Peter gets his suit, he puts it inside out, and then that is the black and gold suit. I thought he actually created the suit, but that wasn't the case, I believe. So, yeah, and then he goes after Electro. And they have this sort of scene, it's in the dark, and there's a bit of tension going on. And then you see Electro behind Peter. And that is obviously Jamie Foxx's Electro. And I've always been a fan of Jamie Foxx's Electro. I thought he was done great, and I feel like he's really, really underrated. And then he is obviously causing this big fight. And then you see Sandman, but Sandman works with Peter. He isn't trying to fight him or anything, which I thought was quite nice, because Sandman did sort of turn into a good guy at the end of Spider-Man 3. So I thought that was quite good, and I thought that went quite well. And then they they both end up getting caught, Sandman and Electro. And then they're in like the cell, but they happen to have Lizard there. I forgot to mention it. Lizard was there. That Peter didn't have to go and catch him at all. And then you see Green Goblin struggling a little bit, because he's a little bit scarred with all this Green Goblin thing, and obviously it's not like Norman Osborn. It's obviously it's Green Goblin taken over, and then he's at feast. Spider-Man goes swinging over, and it turns out that he isn't actually so bad, and he might have taken a little turn, but then it all sort of changes a little bit during the film. Now, the last thing I am going to mention, because I want to save a nice load for the next part, but then Peter realises that they're all just going to go back to their universe and die, and he wants to try and save them. And then Spider-Man steals the cube thing off Doctor Strange. I can't remember what it's called. Like the little cube. There was like a really long name for it, but I can't remember. And then it has that, like, you know, the scene from like Doctor Strange, where like the whole city's going crazy, and that scene looks phenomenal, and it looks great in this film as well. And you see Peter have that. I can't remember what it was called. The thing where like it's like the. I can't. I'm just gonna have to show a picture because I can't remember what it was called. But that. It also happened to Hulk and Stephen himself. But yeah, and then it's the whole scene, and then Doctor Strange gets trapped somewhere, and then he isn't seen for like most of the film. But yeah, I personally, this is like the first part of the film. If you watched my spoiler-free review, then you will know that I think it's sort of got two parts, and this is the first part. And I don't dislike this part, but the second part I love a lot more. But I'm going to share my review a little bit more in the next part. But yeah, that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do comment, like, and subscribe. And be there for part 2, because part 2 is going to be up soon.